Could somebody repeat the link to get on through YouTube, please?
So our channel on YouTube is UNM CON. So that would be the youtube.com/UNM CON.
Thank you.
Okay, I have one last super quick question, if that's okay. I probably should have asked like when I was initially yeah, I should have asked when I was asking like the other like related question, but like whenever like my dad like does get here and I have to go let him into the building, um, should I like leave my camera on, or did you guys want me to shut it off and then just turn it on when I get back?
Go ahead and turn your camera off when you go, and then you can turn it back on. Okay, and we are live streaming now, so we're gonna go ahead and have everybody on mute. Thank you.
Can somebody please make me co-host?
All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Sarah Patel. I am the Undergraduate Student Success Coordinator at the College of Nursing, and I'll be joined in this presentation for really the parents, but you students can listen in as well, by Heidi Orheck, the Undergraduate Student Success Coach for the program. So first, before we get started, this is just a presentation on how you can support your student. And we really modified it for the pandemic a little bit as well. Next slide. First, though, I want to get into a thank you. Before we start the nitty-gritty of this presentation, thank you for being here to witness this important rite of passage in the lives of our students, who are your students. Thank you for raising, partnering, nurturing, loving, and supporting your students. Tonight, in our white coat ceremony, we have a remarkable class of 2 different cohorts with over 100 students that are on our campus in Maine and the West Side campus and within our NIMNEC partners. I know that they would not be here if it was not for each one of you as parents and family members who love them. They have worked hard, but their hard work was possible because of you. You have made sacrifices to support them financially, emotionally, socially, and physically. They are a remarkable group, and it is our privilege that you have entrusted their education to us, to our teaching, and to our program for the next 20 months. Sometimes your students, who are now our students, have not been able to say thank you. So on their behalf, and on the behalf of the UNM College of Nursing faculty, we want to thank each of you for what you have done in the students' lives. Now, when you're looking at our students, some of them get here by an easy, straight path that goes, I want to be a nurse when I grow up. And they go straight into it and they dive in and they do all the prerequisites and then they get into nursing school. But a lot of the students have gotten here by a very jumbled path. You have a family member that's sick, you're in the hospital, something else happens and you say, oh, I want to become a nurse. And that's what the majority of our students are. And it's not always an easy path for them. So thank you for your support. And this is who our students are. So our nursing students are hardworking. Next. They're bright. They're curious. They're a nurturing group because nursing is a caring, compassionate profession. They're empathetic. They're self-sacrificing. And to get here, they're very disciplined at this point. In nursing school, it's a time when they enter our campus as students and they'll leave us as nurses. It's a time for developing their nursing identity, for learning, for growing emotionally, socially, and intellectually, identifying what nursing is as a profession and what it means to have a professional identity. And during nursing school, they're going to develop lifelong friendships that they will keep through the rest of their years. However, our students also face challenges, as many of you are aware. Relocation. Some of our students have come from Washington, California, and had to move to New Mexico without that support system. There's also the academic pressure. The academic pressure of getting into the program and being at the top of their class. There's an enormous workload. A lot of our students are taking 12 upwards to 15 or 17 credit hours a semester. There's a financial pressure of how am I going to pay for nursing school and how am I going to be able to repay if I have to take out loans and scholarships after this. And it's a big life change. Some of our students through this program have gotten engaged, they've had babies, they've gotten married, they've taken on mortgages and gotten houses, and they have family responsibilities. And they face challenges. In nursing school, they're going to have less time for their loved ones. They have less times for hobbies, for exercise, less time for a spiritual practice, and they're exposed to death, pain, and suffering. And now we're adding all of these pressures of nursing school during a national pandemic or an international pandemic, which is affecting every life response on a larger scale. So at the UNM College of Nursing, we recognize that our students are talented. They face challenges. They have potential. There is a role of learning environment and culture of wellness, and that they need resources and that we're here to help them succeed, but you're also here to help them succeed. Now, the one thing I want to add to that, our students have been weeded out. To get into this program, they went through a very intensive competitive process to come to the College of Nursing. We're not here to weed them out anymore. At the end of graduation, however many students we admit, we have that many diplomas for them. So we really want them to make a cohort, a collaboration, and become a family together in here, because it's not who's the best anymore and how hard do I have to work. You all have a degree waiting for you. So we are here for you. Now, if you are a nurse, because a lot of times we have family members that are nurses, you remember you had hours upon hours of studying specific disease processes, the signs and symptoms, clinical manifestations, the diagnostic measures, and nursing interventions. At the College of Nursing at UNM, we use a concept-based curriculum as part of the New Mexico Nurses Education Consortium. We teach our students to group knowledge of specific conditions under broad concepts to help them figure out the generalizabilities, so that when you see a patient and you say, oh, this is going on with this, this, and this, something's happening with their perfusion, as I have up here. So if it's a perfusion issue, these are the interventions that I should go to first, and then we can work on the nitty-gritty. So at the College of Nursing, just to give you an idea for your students and for yourself, for the support we have, there's an undergraduate student success team, me and Heidi, Office of Diversity that you can go to, the Office of Academic Resources and Support, Student Health and Counseling, or better known as SHAC, and the College of Nursing Student Services. We are all here and dedicated to our students and enhancing their education. Now I'm going to let Heidi tell you about specific challenges and how you can help specifically. You're muted.
You'd think I'd have that down by now. As Sarah said, I'm Heidi Orheck, and I am the undergraduate student success coach. So we give the students a lot of one-on-one and a lot of group help that goes along with that resource list she just gave you. But I do want to talk to you about some of the ways that you can help your students. So some of the things you're going to see over the first semester is that they're going to be really overwhelmed and worried about getting everything in that they need. And you've probably already seen in the first couple of weeks that this is quite the process. You've probably already seen that they might be trying to fit everything in by sleeping less. They're getting rid of extra activities that they used to do to help keep them calm and that they loved. They may be changing their eating patterns or maybe even forgetting to fit in meals, getting rid of their exercise regimens. And they may be keeping some of the old work patterns that worked for them in the last several semesters, but are maybe not going to work as well for them this semester. So again, we thank you for all the support you've given them up to this point, but there are quite a few different ways that you can offer continued support during nursing school. So what we found through research is that having a connection with others, especially with significant others, with parents, with children, with siblings, that connection is what makes students highly successful. So students that have that really close connection with people outside of the college tend to do better. And so any way that you can offer your support, maybe provide some perspective, ask them what's going on in their life with school, what projects they're working on, reminding them of their talents and that no matter how they're doing on any given day or any test, they're still loved and they're still amazing and they're going to get through this program. Those are all the wonderful things that you can do to offer support. So specifically, some ideas for success is working on family schedules together, planning ahead. What you may find is that in the next 20 months, your student may not be able to attend all of the family outings. And I know this is pretty restricted during COVID, but hopefully during this next 20 months, our students are going to get back to normal to where you can go on some family outings. They may not always be able to go on vacation or come over for whatever's happening on the weekend. Try and make it a point to say, you know, I understand and we really would love to have you here, but we know that this is important and that we'll be seeing you a lot more again when this program is over. Study schedules. Don't take it personally if they're too busy to talk as much as usual or to spend as much time with you as they normally do. Some things that you can do though, so that you can continue to spend time with them even though they're studying, is there are ways that you can help them study. You can help them with their study environment. You can offer to be a study partner. Sometimes just going through their material with them if they want a study buddy to do a Quizlet with or some flashcards, or maybe somebody just to talk out loud and go over the information that they've learned that week. Sometimes even reading out loud to somebody and you can pose a question here or there really gets them thinking and is very beneficial for your students' success. Other ways that you can spend time with them and really help them out and be supportive during this process involve exercise, diet, and sleep. So I think you probably all are familiar with that freshman 10 or 15 that we all talked about in undergrad. Well, in nursing school, it's more like the nursing school 40. And so this is really important for your students to get out there and still get moving. And there's a lot of research about the benefits to mental health to get outside and really keep moving. So if you guys can work on ways to even just get out and get a walk together, get a hike, do a little bit of, whatever is important, 20 minutes here or there will work wonders for both of you. And again, it's a way of spending time together. Anything you can do with helping them to keep a consistent and well-balanced, healthy diet, helping to home cook meals, maybe prepping ahead on the weekends and stuffing some stuff in their refrigerator, helping to go grocery shopping and just kind of putting some stuff in the refrigerator for them so they don't have to worry about that either financially or time planning wise. And then sleeping, please help us. We remind the students all the time that you can't learn if you don't sleep. And so help us out with that. Maybe, kind of that nudge, like, I hope you're getting ready for bed soon. There's a lot of research, again, behind the benefits of sleep helping with learning. So it is really hard for your brain to recall information that hasn't been properly categorized during sleep. So your students need a good night of sleep after every hard day of learning and processing so that they can recall that information later when they need it. We've already touched on emotional support, but this is probably truly the most important. Anytime you can just be that shoulder to listen, you're gonna see tears during nursing school. I can almost guarantee you. There's just gonna be some hard, overwhelming days. And I'm thinking by talking to some of the students in the last week, you may have already seen some of those tears. Just again, be generous with your listening, with your shoulder. Let them know again that they're so smart. They're here for a reason. Help them remember why they wanted to be a nurse. Let them know that they're loved no matter if they get a bad grade on a test here or there. Maybe leave them little cards, just like when they were little and you were putting cards in their lunchbox. Stick one on the refrigerator or send them one in the mail if they don't live with you. All of those things can really bolster your students and their success. Being a support person is also difficult. So you might want to think again about how you can continue to keep yourself strong and nurtured through this process. So don't drop your own routines. Make sure you're getting contact with other people during this really difficult time as well, whether it's phone or Zoom or whatever during COVID. Try and keep some of your own activities up so that you're not just kind of trying to balance all of the kids and the work and everything else supporting your student, but that you're being nurtured as well. If after all of this, your student is exhibiting signs that are worrisome to you, maybe they're really short-tempered and that's not something that is normal for them. They're expressing negative thought patterns. Maybe they're having trouble in relationships that they hadn't before. They're becoming physically ill more often than usual. You see a lot of unhealthy thought patterns, behaviors, etc. And maybe sometimes they just can't push themselves like they did before. They just are sleeping a lot or going and doing other things, and they're distancing themselves from their schoolwork. Those are signs that your student is probably a little bit overwhelmed, maybe a little bit burnt out, and it would be a really good, helpful thing for you to maybe step in and address this with them. So a couple of different things is really communicate directly with them. Sometimes students start into this kind of negative pattern without even realizing it. So if you can come to them and say, hey, this isn't like you, what's going on? What can we do to remedy this situation? And help them brainstorm some options. Who can you turn to? What resources available? Who's an instructor or a staff member that you really trust that you would be willing to go and talk to them and see, what maybe some good ideas are for dealing with this feeling of overwhelm? Have them kind of come up with these solutions as you ask questions and really encourage them to follow those hunches, those resources, and to step out and ask for help. So again, we just want to say we are so, so incredibly happy to have your students. We've been working with them. The L2s we've been working with for several months, the L1s for several weeks, and they're all delightful. They're going to make amazing nurses. Every one of them get through this process, but it will be much easier if you can continue to lend your support. So thank you all for being here.
I'd now like to introduce our Dean, Dr. Christine Casper. Prior to joining UNM, Dr. Casper served as a senior nurse executive in the United States Department of Veterans Affairs, Office of Nursing Services. In her Veterans Affairs post, she advised the Chief Nursing Officer on academics, research, and policy, and was a professor in the Daniel K. Inouye Graduate School of Nursing at Uniformed Services University in Bethesda, Maryland. Dean Casper received her PhD at the University of Michigan, where she studied nursing and physiology. Following a postdoctoral fellowship at Rush University in physiology and biophysics, she served as a professor at the University of Wisconsin-Madison and the University of California, Los Angeles. Dr. Casper held the M. Adelaide Nutting Research Chair at Johns Hopkins University. Please join me in welcoming Dean Casper.
Thank you. Welcome and good evening. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you, excuse me, to the 2022 White Coat ceremony here at the University of New Mexico College of Nursing. I have to point out this is one of the top colleges of nursing in the country, and you are an elite group that's been accepted. And despite everything, nursing and the science of nursing is tough. There's no easy way around it. You're expected to be scientists. It's applied STEM science. You know, we expect you to go on to graduate school and to your doctoral degrees. So get on with it. So joining us today for the ceremony are the following: Dr. Sophia Rogers, University of New Mexico College of Nursing alumnus. Dr. Judy Liesfeld, Associate Dean for Education and Innovation. Dr. Liesfeld's a very important part of the college. Susan Kornkevich, Undergraduate Program Director. Oh, sorry. I would like to recognize the UNM College of Nursing faculty who provide an exceptional educational experience for our students. The backbone of any organization is the support staff, and joining us today are select staff volunteers. Their efforts supporting the faculty and students are invaluable. Thank you all so very much. A very generous donor and alumna of the UNM College of Nursing, Carolyn Dooley Martinez, provided funding for this ceremony today. Ms. Martinez started out like you with a dream of becoming a nurse. She, like many of us, wants you to know that you have a support system that believes in you and will see you through your journey to become a nurse. On behalf of the College of Nursing, we once again thank her for her just exceptional generosity. That's where we would applaud. Students, today you will don your first white coat in the presence of family, friends, and faculty members as you embark on your journey in collegiate nursing education. This event allows the College of Nursing to officially welcome you into our profession here at the university. Your white coat serves as a powerful symbol of compassion combined with scientific excellence. You are a very impressive group of students, as I said before. There are many of you in this class coming from all over New Mexico. There are members of the military and first-generation college students. Several of you are bilingual and even trilingual, speaking Spanish, Chinese, French, German, Korean, American Sign, Russian, and more. All in all, you are very representative of the candidates we have been admitting to the College of Nursing ever since we started in 1955. I look forward to seeing all of you succeed here at the University of New Mexico College of Nursing and throughout your career as a professional nurse. I would now like to introduce you to our keynote speaker, Dr. Sophia Rogers. Dr. Rogers is a critical care nurse practitioner and practices within the pulmonary critical care service at Loveless Health Systems here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She has over 42 years of clinical experience and practice as the first acute care nurse practitioner in New Mexico. That's a trailblazer. She has lectured extensively at various national conferences on trauma, critical care, and acute care topics, along with receiving numerous clinical awards, including the American Association of Nurse Practitioners State Clinical Award of Excellence and the Outstanding Nurse Practitioner Circle of Excellence Award from the American Association of Critical Care Nurses. These are very, very high honors here in the United States. Dr. Rogers was the first New Mexico clinician to be inducted as a fellow into the American Association of Nurse Practitioners. And in 2008, she was inducted into the American College of Critical Care Medicine, where she is currently serving on the ACCM Credentials Committee. In 2024, she will serve as the second nurse chair of that committee. In 2013, she was selected as UNM Outstanding Alumni. And in 2015, she was chosen as the top 60 graduates from the University of New Mexico College of Nursing in celebration of the college's 60th anniversary. In 2018, she received the New Mexico chapter of the American Association of Critical Care Nurses Lifetime Achievement Award. That's pretty amazing. Of all her accolades, she believes her best is that being Steve's wife, Barry's mother, and Kai's grandmother. Please join me in welcoming UNM alumna Sophia Rogers.
Thank you, Dr. Casper. Welcome, class of 2022. Congratulations on choosing the most honorable profession. According to the latest Gallup poll, for the 17th year in a row, nursing was chosen as the most trusted profession. None truer than now. In the face of the COVID-19 pandemic, nurses are recognized as heroes, frontline workers who risk their lives daily to care for patients. It is good to be recognized, but we have done these for years, even before COVID. Now, as Dr. Casper said, I've been a nurse for over 42 years, and I remember being in your seat 45 years ago, full of enthusiasm and excitement as I start to embark on this journey. And you know what? I still have these feelings. Along the way, I've gained much knowledge and wisdom, and I would like to share some of these with you. First, always treat your patients and family with empathy. I'm reminded of a definition given by the nursing theorist Virginia Henderson about nursing. She said the unique function of the nurse is to assist the individual, sick or well, in the performance of these activities, contributing to health, its recovery, or to a peaceful death. That definition is so profound, especially the phrase, help patients to a peaceful death. This has been a daily occurrence with the COVID-19 pandemic. On one particular day, we had 7 deaths. One almost become numb to it. However, we cannot forget the fact that that patient is someone's father, brother, son, uncle, or friend. Last week, I had to withdraw care on a patient who was sick of COVID-19, who had been intubated for almost 40 days. He was not getting better. As a matter of fact, he was getting worse. I had to call his daughter to give her the news. She was in Chinle making funeral arrangements for her mother, who died exactly 1 week prior in our ICU. She returned to Albuquerque and came into the hospital to be with her father. She made the decision, the very difficult decision, to go ahead and let him go. I told her that she made the ultimate selfless decision and showed her father unconditional love to not let him suffer anymore. We took him off the ventilator, and within 15 minutes, he passed. She sat by his bedside holding his hand as he took his last breath. When I came into the room to pronounce him, she wept. Despite social distancing, I put my arms around her. I held her for a few seconds. Then I stood next to her with my hand on her back, and I cried with her. At that moment, I tried to empathize what it would be like to lose both my mother and father 1 week apart. We have sat next to patients and held their hands as they die when there are no family members present. We have cried with patients and families who were given a terminal diagnosis. Empathy is the hallmark of nursing. The second wisdom I like to impart to you is to keep learning. As Dr. Casper said, don't stop with your baccalaureate degree. Continue seeking higher learning. There are many options. If you find that you enjoy the clinical aspect of nursing, get your nurse practitioner, midwifery, or CRNA. Now, one thing I do recommend is work as a nurse for at least 5 years prior to obtaining these degrees. I really think it will make you a better advanced practice provider. If you love research and teaching, get your DNP, get your PhD. The knowledge to care for patients constantly change. Attend regional, national conferences, in-hospital, in-services, join a journal club to keep up to date with the literature and research so that you can practice the latest evidence-based nursing and medical care. Teach a class, set up an in-service and teach a topic that interests you. I promise you, you will learn a great deal as you research the topic. Next is become a leader. Join committees within your hospital organizations to advocate for nursing. Often many of these committees are led by administrators or physicians, and they might not understand the nursing perspective. And that's what makes it important for you to become involved. Be involved with your state legislature to help change laws regarding nursing practice. During the last legislative session, a group of nurse practitioners and I went up to the Roundhouse, and we had the pleasure and the honor of speaking to legislatures to pass House Bill 280, which allow nurse practitioners and midwives to have admitting privileges to hospitals. Your voice and involvement do matter, and they can change laws, and you do make a difference. Also, be involved in national organizations. If you're interested in becoming a critical care nurse, the American Association of Critical Care Nurses have just a plethora of committees that you can join. There's also even a local chapters, which monthly they provide in-services on how to take care of critically ill patients. Just join the American Nurses Association. You can play an active and pivotal role to be on committees which can change practice specific to your area of nursing. Then after a couple of years, be a preceptor. It's very rewarding to mentor a younger colleague and help them succeed. Also consider publishing articles in journals. If you and your colleague have started a program which positively impacted patient care, share it with others by publishing it or presenting it at conferences. In 1996, I became the first acute care nurse practitioner in New Mexico. This was a fairly new role in the United States. I had the pleasure of presenting this role at regional and national conferences so that others can see how to develop a similar role in their institution. Last and not least, and I'm going to emphasize what Heidi talked about, take time for yourself and your family. This job is extremely stressful. Often we're working 12 to 14 hours per shift. And at times you're not going to even get a lunch break, or if you are going to be eating, you're sitting at the desk catching up on charting. We're dealing with life and death in a constant stream of high stress situations. This will take a toll on you physically as well as mentally. After a while, you may begin to feel burnout. Signs of burnout can be manifested as fatigue, dreading going to work, feeling underappreciated, and feeling constantly overworked. The National Academy of Medicine reports that at least 50% of professionals across medical fields report serious symptoms of burnout, including emotional exhaustion, cynicism, and low sense of professional accomplishment. It's even more true now with the COVID-19. And if this is not treated, this can lead to poor job performance, medical mistakes on the job, substance abuse, high turnover rates, and even suicide. Practicing self-care and mindfulness is one of the best ways to prevent burnout. Set boundaries between work and personal life. I know it's easier said than done. When you shift this over, leave any thoughts, feelings, grievances about work at work. Make a point to focus your time spent with your family and friends. As Heidi said, take some time on the weekends, spend some time, make some time for your family. Do activities you enjoy, such as exercise, biking, yoga. Be creative. I love to sew and make jewelry. This is one of my pieces of jewelry that I make. And sometimes after a very hard shift, a long shift, I'll get in my studio and I'll just spend 15 minutes in there. And that's 15 minutes that I'm not thinking about what a horrible day I've had. You have to make that time. I know it's easier said than done. I mean, even now with your schoolwork, I know some of you are working as well. This is very, very difficult. Now, I have many other wisdoms that I have learned, but unfortunately, my time has come to a close. I would like to wish all of you the best of luck in your remaining studies. Congratulations on choosing to become a member of the nation's most trusted profession. I would be so proud to call you my nursing colleague. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers, for sharing your experience and for inspiring us all. My name is Dr. Judy Liesfeld. I am the Associate Dean for Education and Innovation at the UNM College of Nursing. I too would like to welcome everyone to our white coat ceremony. The University of New Mexico College of Nursing comes from a rich history. In the spring of 1955, $60,000 was approved as a line item in the university's budget during the state legislative session to establish the College of Nursing. This also marked the creation of the first Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree program in the state of New Mexico. In June 1959, the University of New Mexico awarded 12 Bachelor of Science in Nursing degrees to the first graduates. In addition to being the first College of Nursing in the state and offering the first Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree, the college has paved the way for nursing education in the state by offering the first advanced practice master's programs and the state's first Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing degree. After 65 years with more than 8,500 alumni, approximately 1,000 students are currently enrolled across bachelor's, master's, postmaster's certificate, and doctoral programs, and following in the footsteps and traditions laid by many visionary and dedicated nurses who shaped the rich history of the college. Now you may have asked yourself, what exactly is a white coat ceremony and why is it significant? In 2014, recognizing the vital role nurses play in the healthcare team, the Gold Foundation partnered with the American Association of Colleges of Nursing to adopt a white coat ceremony for nursing. More than 310 schools of nursing now participate, and the number continues to grow. The white coat ceremony is intended for first-year students in nursing and is a rite of passage. It serves to welcome students to nursing practice and elevate the value of humanism as the core of healthcare. It provides a powerful emphasis on compassion in combination with scientific excellence. The most important element of the ceremony is the oath that students take in front of family members, school leadership, and their peers to acknowledge their central obligation of caring for the patient. It is now my privilege to welcome the class of 2022. The first group of students, you may now put on your white coats. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause for this wonderful group of students. Group 2, you may now put on your white coats. Thank you. And a round of applause for group 2. And group 3, you may now put on your white coats. And now a round of applause for group 3. Group 4, please put on your white coats. Thank you, and a round of applause for group 4. And group 5, please put on your white coats. Thank you. Round of applause for group 5. Group 6, please put on your white coats. And a round of applause for these students, please. Group 7, please put on your white coats. And a hearty round of applause for group 7. Okay, group 8, please put on your white coats. And a round of applause for group 8.
Judy, Dr. Leesfeld, can we please have a moment to spotlight everyone in group 9, and then we could have them put on their white coats to make sure everyone's captured.
All right, are we moving to group 9? Group 9, please put on your white coats. And a round of applause for group 9. Okay, and group 10, please put on your white coats. Okay, and a round of applause for group 10.
The live stream isn't showing the spotlights.
Okay, and group 11, please put on your white coat. And a round of applause for group 11. And group 12, please put on your white coats. And a round of applause for group 12. And group 13, please put on your white coats. A round of applause for group 13. And group 14, please put on your white coats. A round of applause for group 14. And group 15, please put on your white coats. And a round of applause for group 15. Group 16, please put on your white coats. And a round of applause for group 16. Group 17, please put on your white coat. And a round of applause for group 17. Group 18, please put on your white coats. A round of applause for group 18. And group 19, please put on your white coats. A round of applause for group 19. Group 20, please put on your white coats. A round of applause for group 20. And group 21, please put on your white coats. And a round of applause for group 20. And group 21, please put on your white coats.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, a round of applause for group 20. Group 21, please put on your white coats. Okay, a round of applause for group 20. I'm getting lost. Are we in 20 or 21? What group did we just do?
This is group 21 right now.
All right, a round of applause for 21. Okay, and group 22, please put on your white coats. And a round of applause for group 22. Thank you. Great. Group 23, please put on your white coats. All right, round of applause for group 23. Group 24, please put on your white coats. And a round of applause for group 24.
You are a bubble guppy and your name is Fish.
Yeah, you guys can go along.
Did you treat the dogs?
Yeah.
Group 25, please put on your white coats.
Oh, we missed it.
Round of applause for group 25. Group 26, 6, please put on your white coats. Round of applause for group 26. Group 27, please put on your white coats. Round of applause for group 27. Group 28, please put on your white coats. And round of applause for group 28. And group 29, please put on your white coats. And round of applause for group 29. Group 30, please put on your white coats. Round of applause for group 30. Group 31, please put on your white coats.
That's my partner. She's cool. Is your camera on? It is.
And round of applause for group 31.
And group 30.
Group 32, please put on your white coats. Round of applause for group 32. And group 33, please put on your white coats. Round of applause for group 33. And last but not least, group 34, please put on your white coats. And a round of applause for group 34. But not
For those of us joining on the live stream, we know we had some trouble showing the groups as we went along, and we do apologize. Our hope is that the recording that we will have up on our website within a week should be able to show your student as they're being coded. Again, for those of you viewing on the live stream, we do apologize.
So congratulations to all. I wish I could have said each and every one of your names. But this was highly unusual this year, and we're just so happy you're all with us. And once again, congratulations, and thank you to all the parents and families who participated.
So good evening. That was really fun. I enjoyed that, not as much as when we were in person. I am glad that I wasn't Dr. Liesfeld and had to keep track of all those groups, because I would have messed it up. But as they mentioned before, my name is Sue Korenkevich, and I'm the undergraduate program director. So again, I just want to wish everyone, all the students, congratulations, on this rite of passage. The profession of nursing is steeped in years of tradition and rites of passage, and one of these includes the nurse's oath, where we pledge to embody all that it is to be a nurse. If you're looking at a program, I'm not sure that you are, a paper program, it's on page 5, but it's also going to be shared for you on screen. So we want to invite all the nurses here with us today to recite the oath with our students. Obviously, we're not going to be able to unmute and everybody, create this horrible mess. But if you follow along at home, that would be wonderful. So, and usually we have everyone stand for this, but you don't have to, obviously. As a nurse dedicated to providing the highest quality care and services, I solemnly pledge that I will consider the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering my primary concerns, act in a compassionate and trustworthy manner in all aspects of my care, apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to assure optimal outcomes for my patients, exercise sound professional judgment while abiding by legal and ethical requirements, accept the lifelong obligation to improve my professional knowledge and competence, promote, advocate for, and strive to protect the health, safety, and rights of the patient. With this pledge, I accept the duties and responsibilities that embody the nursing profession. I take this oath voluntarily with the full realization of the responsibility with which I am entrusted by the public. Yay. So nursing students, on behalf of the faculty and staff at the College of Nursing, please accept our sincere welcome and congratulations on your journey to becoming a nurse. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Yay. And thank you all for coming. Students, you're welcome to post your white coat photos on social media. Be sure to tag the UNM College of Nursing. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Things in the YouTube comments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Stay safe.
Thank
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Good job, everybody. So proud of all of you.
You guys stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Congratulations.
Good job, everybody.
Are we supposed to leave?